Hello friends, welcome to Daring Marathi YouTube channel. Today we will discuss about hot work permit. So hot work, the definition, responsibility, what are the process and risks that we take during conducting a hot work on board. So definition means work involving sources of ignition or temperature sufficiently high to cause ignition of a flammable gas mixture is termed as hot work. Work involving sources of ignition or temperature sufficiently high to cause ignition of a flammable gas mixture is termed as hot work. This includes any work requiring to use welding, burning or soldering equipment, blow torches, some power driven tools, portable electrical equipment which is not intrinsically safe or contained within an approved explosion proof housing, an internal combustion engine and all. So means work involving source of ignition or temperature sufficiently high to cause ignition of a flammable gas mixture is termed as hot work. This includes any work requiring use of welding, burning or soldering equipment, blow torches, some power driven tools, portable electrical equipment which is not intrinsically safe or contained within an approved explosion proof housing. Hot work permit means it is a document issued by a responsible person permitting specific hot work to be done during a particular time interval in a defined area. Hot work permit is a document issued by a responsible person permitting a specific hot work to be done during a particular time interval in a defined area. SMS should be include adequately guidance on the control of hot work and should be robust for compliance to deliver the expectation of ISM code and confirm that it is effective that stated procedures are being followed. SMS should include adequate guidance on the control of hot work and should be robust for compliance to deliver the expectations of ISM code and confirm that it is effective that stated procedures are being followed. Then responsibility matter. Responsibility means mainly for the master. Responsibility. The master must satisfy himself that hot work is justifiable before granting permission for hot work to be carried out on the ship. So the master must satisfy that the hot work is justifiable and before granting permission for hot work. It is master's responsibility to ensure that established procedure for all hot work are implemented and comply fully with company requirement. The master should ensure that the established procedure for all hot work are implemented and complies fully with company requirement. If in port, local port or terminal approval is obtained in any writing prior carrying out any work. If it is in port, local port or in terminal port, the terminal approval is obtained in writing prior carrying out any work. All flag state regulations are considered. You have to ensure that all the flag states are need to be considered by doing hot work permit. So conduct a safety briefing to ensure that control measures are in place and understood and complied with fullest extent. So here to conduct a safety briefing to all the crew about the control measures and are in place and understood the compliance with the fullest extent. Prepare a risk assessment with the heads of department to ensure that environment on board is sufficiently safe for hot work and identify any conflicting operation carried out simultaneously. So they have to prepare risk assessment with the heads of department to ensure that head of the environment on board is sufficiently safe for hot work and identify any conflicting operations carried out simultaneously. So the issue of work permit just prior commencing the work, he should monitor all safety controls are maintained throughout and cancel the permit if conditions are breached or advised by the responsible officer. So issue the work permit just prior commencing work, monitor all safety controls are maintained throughout and cancel the permit if conditions are breached or advised by the responsible officer. So head of the department, here we say chief officer or chief engineer, inspecting the work area and equipment to be used for hot work together with the persons carrying out the job. So inspecting the work area and equipment to be used for hot work together with the persons or carrying out the job. Physically checking and filling of work permit jointly with the responsible officer and the person involved in the work. Physically checking and filling of work permit jointly with the responsible officer and person involved in the work. Testing the atmosphere of the work area where applicable. Testing the atmosphere of the work area where applicable. Ensuring continuous effective ventilation of the work area. We have to ensure the continuous effective ventilation of the work area. Then determining that hot work is safe to be carried out and signing the permit. So here to determine that hot work is permitted to carry out, signing that it is safe. That monitor the work is going on as per safety briefing. So here to ensure that monitoring of the work is properly carried out as per safety briefing. Then inform the master to retract the permit if safe working conditions are breached. If the safe working permission is condition is breached, then we can inform the master to retract the permit. To continue monitoring the work area for at least 30 minutes after completion of hot work or until the risk of fire no longer exists. To continue monitoring the work area for at least 30 minutes after completion of hot work or until the risk of fire has no longer exists. Hot work, here flow chart. Here means here we can say hot work not permitted. Why means if the task can be achieved without using the hot work. If it is yes, then hot work not permitted. If it is no, then we check is the ship requiring work on the pipeline or the sitting, is it permanent structure. Then if it is fitting, we can say can the fitting be discarded and removed from the hazardous cargo before hot work. If it is yes, we have to plan work according to that. If it is no, then fitting to be isolated from all pipelines and blanks attached. Then like I said, if the is the part of the ship requiring work on the pipeline or other setting is a permanent structure means, then master to hold safety meeting on board attending by all having responsibility during work. Then is the master responsible that work can be completed safely. If no, then the hot work permitter will not be issued. If yes, he have to written up statement of work to be drawn up and showing separate responsibility for work and suspension and safety. Hot work permit to be issued showing task and time, completion all preparation of hot work, stop all other works in cargo area, perform task and record completion of operation and all. This is how about hot work flow chart as per ISGOT. Okay. Control hot work inside a designated space. Designated space for hot work on board is allocated where it is safe to carry out such operation with hot work. Permit not required to be issued, however. The duty officer on the bridge shall be informed before the start of hot work inside designated space. Usually, engine room workshop is considered as a designated space. Then, hot work outside designated space means to prevent unauthorized hot work outside the designated hot work area. Welding extension cable and portable welding machines will be controlled item and kept under lock and key in the engine room workshop locker. The master is the only person allowed to approve any hot work outside the designated hot work area with prior approval from the company. We have to ensure that outside the designated hot work area. Inside designated hot work area means mainly in the engine room. There mainly chief engineer can allow to permit informing the master and all. But in the outside designated area, it is the master himself. He is the designated person to give hot work area hot work permit. Then hot work process. The work area shall be carefully prepared and isolated before hot work commences. So we have to ensure that work area shall be carefully prepared, isolated. It should be cleaned before hot work commences. If the fire safety precautions and fire extinguishing measures shall be reviewed, then adequate firefighting equipment must be prepared, laid out and ready for immediate use. Fire watch procedures must be established for the area of hot work and for adjacent space where the transfer of heat or accident damage might create a hazard. Example, damage to hydraulic lines, electrical cables, thermal oil lines, etc. And fire watch should be monitored. The work can take action in case of ignition of residues or paint coatings. Effective means of containing and extinguishing building sparks and molten slag must be established. The work area must be adequately and continuously ventilated, and frequency of atmosphere monitoring must be established. Okay. The work area we have to ensure that adequately and continuously ventilated. Heads of ventilation should be there. Then, when alongside the terminal, hot work should be permitted in accordance with the prevailing national or international regulation, port and terminal requirements. So, in the terminal, the hot work should be only permitted according to the local international rules and local port and terminal requirements. Personnel carrying out the work shall be adequately trained and shall have the competency required to carry out the safely and effectively. So we have to ensure that the person carry out the work shall be adequately trained and have the competency required to carry out safely and effectively. Okay. The hot work permit shall be issued immediately before the work is to be performed. In the event of delay to start of the work, all safety measures shall be rechecked before work actually commences. Then if conditions under which the permit has been issued should change, hot work must stop immediately. The permit shall be withdrawn or cancelled until all conditions are safe and safety precautions have been checked and reinstated to allow the permit to be reissued or reapproved. Isolation of the work area and fire safety precautions should be continued until the risk of fire no longer exists. Then risk involved in carrying out hot work and control measures to be taken. In hazardous involved and control measures to be made. Okay. Inhalation hazard due to smoke generation. If there is inhalation hazard due to smoke generation means proper personal protective equipment should be done at all times. Ventilation running throughout operation if applicable. Source for driving the ventilation fan must be kept on, that means air compressor or fire pump throughout the hot work operation. Follow safe practice as per code of safe working practice for merchant ship. Electric shock means approved and good condition of electric welding equipment, that means cables, electric holder shall be used. All electric building equipment to be checked for insulation, minimum 1 mega ohm using Megger. Then earthing cable to be connected. Then eye injury means welding mask and safety goggles to be used. All persons involved in the operation shall wear safety glasses. Falling from height or slipping, tripping depending upon location of work. So proper personal equipment should be done at all times. Adequate non-skid shoe to be worn. Ensure area is clear of any slipping hazard. Safety harness shall be used wherever applicable. Working afloat. Checklist to be completed as to avoid any crucial points. Personal injury by falling objects. While lowering any object, safety lanes bucket to be used. All equipments and ropes to be used for the job shall be thoroughly inspected. Prior lowering any object, ensure that all passenger space are clear underneath. Then burns scald due to contact with hot surface. Proper personal protective equipment should be done at all times. Personnel involved in the hot work to exercise utmost care to ensure no contact is made with hot surface. Fire explosion hazard. A firefight shall be posted. Firefighting equipment to be ready for immediate use in the vicinity. All elements of the hot work permit shall be followed prior commencement of hot work. Gas check to be carried to ensure space is free of any combustible material. So this is what happens of fire and explosion hazard and all. Thank you.